Hey everybody, welcome back to HitPoint, a JRPG news show, an anime news show, a niche news show, a show where Baku and I talk about anything and everything that sparks our interest. We broadcast live every single Sunday, except for the ones we don't, at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be previewing trailers, talking about rumors, discussing comments from the super chats at the end of every episode. Baku, buddy, did I just nail that intro?
I think so.
Holy cannoli!
It only took like a year and a half.
It's, it's like a once in a blue moon sort of deal.
That is true.
Man, it is good to see you. Hey everybody, it is a pleasure to see you all this fine Sunday evening. I hope that you have had such a great week. I think my week has been all over the place. But before I dive into my story, how have you been, Baku? It's been too long.
Oh man, it's been great. I've got Monday off. I'm going to a wedding next weekend over in New York, so we won't be doing another hit point, but I'll be plastered drunk up up in New York. So there's that. It'd be fantastic. But otherwise, yeah, happy Father's Day to anyone who's celebrating, of course, and also happy Juneteenth for anyone who's celebrating. Yeah, especially in the States. It is a new federal holiday that I started like last year, the year before.
I think it was last year. Yeah,
it was last year. Yeah, it was last year. So yeah, so happy holidays, everybody. Yeah. There's lots of fun things going on. I love seeing all these news. I'm glad that this week is a lot lighter than last week, because last week was practically work. Last week was work. It was. I felt like it was actual work. This week is very chill, but we've got a lot of great news to talk about. So looking forward to getting there.
Yeah, a lot of clarifications of prior news that I can't wait to disseminate. A whole lot of really fun stuff that we weren't supposed to know about just yet. But hey, that's all right. We'll come around to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
So can I just sideswipe this whole discussion for a moment and detour into so last night Baku's laughing because I called him last night. I was like, Baku, I just need somebody to talk to about this.
I knew it.
Because here's the thing. A couple weeks ago, I built a brand new computer, brand new processor, brand new RAM, brand new motherboard, everything to do my nice new streaming setup, my streaming and recording and everything, my editing rig. And I was like, all right, I'm going to do this thing. It's going to be great. But then came all of the dang complications with this capture card that is my favorite capture card. It is great. I love it. It is the Deck Link Quad HDMI recorder. It does 4K, 60 FPS, 4 of them simultaneously, and it's from Blackmagic Design, which is they're pretty cool people, right? So I have that, and I'm like, I want to use this because it previously had like 3 different capture cards. They were over USB 3. They were like built in, and it was just a mess because there was always conflicts, and you never knew if any of them was just going to crap out at any given moment. Anyways. So I'm like, all right, so I need this 16X slot for my graphics card. I need a 4X slot for my capture card. I need another 4X for my 10 gig Ethernet, and that's perfect. Turns out though, the motherboard I got was exactly what I aimed to get, but this is an 8X card, which really matters because basically, if you don't have all the lanes, it only does like half of what it's supposed to do. so long story short. The motherboard I got was incompatible. So I was like, all right, well, whatever. I'll just get a different motherboard. So I went and I got a different motherboard shipped to me and put it in place because I was like, oh yeah, this is an X570 board. This is going to be perfect. Plug it in. Doesn't work. Turns out the lanes on that one are also 4X only electrically. Like it can hold a large. So like, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go and I'm going to get like this incredible motherboard. This thing weighs a ton. It is the MSI Meg X570S Ace Max motherboard. It is
Max.
This thing is ridiculous. And it weighs like 20 pounds, or at least it feels like it. So it is like a $300 motherboard. but it has everything it's supposed to be able to do. And I
Mm-hmm.
hook it all in, and then for whatever reason, it should have worked. It just never did. I went into the BIOS and I changed all the settings, and I just spent like 2 whole days going through, rebooting, configuring a different setting, loading it back up. Does it work now? No. Okay, reboot the computer. Hello, Indy. Try again. Does it work now? No. So finally, I cave in. I cave in because I knew a day into troubleshooting what I needed to do. So finally, I take that motherboard back out of my computer, put in the 4th motherboard into my brand new computer build. You know what? Well, of course you know what that motherboard is, Baku, because I called to tell you it was my original dang motherboard that I had before the upgrade ever started. This fly by night it's 2 years old. This motherboard, it's a B450. It's not even made to work with like 5th gen Ryzen. It's this B450F gaming motherboard from MSI. It's just this little like bargain bin thing that I had when I hobbled together the money, and I knew it would work because it worked before I did the upgrade. Anyways, that has been the last like couple days of my life, and I wanted to bring you all along for the journey on that one, because my gosh, like, motherboards are complicated, guys.
It sure is. It sure is.
Amazon probably thinks I'm trying to scam them from all of like the purchases and returns that I'm doing.
Man.
Because this is a $300 motherboard. I'm not keeping this. So I'm sending it back, and I'm having him send me one more ITX motherboard for my gaming computer that I stole this B450 from. So anyways, everything works now, but it took a while to get there. That was my week. That was my hair ripping out of my head week. But everything works.
But it works.
It works, and that's what matters. Okay, I'm done rambling. If anybody out there caught, I'm sure a lot of you out there also like to build and play with computers. If you're half as geeky as Baku and I just had to just vent for a little bit there. I'm just so happy and pleased that it finally works.
Yeah, no, I appreciated the efforts and the steps and all the trials that you had to put in to make it work.
That poor CPU cooler had to be uninstalled and reinstalled like 5 or 6 times. Noctua makes a really good cooler. I'll tell you that. It's held up really well.
Yes.
And I almost ran out of thermal paste, but I didn't.
I also used a Noctua cooler. I can vouch. They work.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, all right. I guess that it's time for us to start maybe responding to some of the comments that we got last week during our big Not E3 show, where we covered a lot of Summer Game Fest announcements.
Yeah. All right. So we've got a comment from Ray Miyazaki, who said, I see the English trailer, FF7 R Rebirth. When Sephiroth mentioned her, in my mind, I think he meant Aerith in the OG, question mark. But the video shows Tifa. Thank you for pointing out that in the JP trailer, at least one question answered and a lot more popped up.
Yeah.
As intended.
Because that was what I thought too, was that when he said that I killed her, that it meant that he was referring to the, by the way,
Aerith.
Spoilers, that he killed Aerith in the original Final Fantasy VII, right? But yeah, it's apparently not. And he's,
no. You're spoiling the game. You're spoiling the OG Final Fantasy VII for everyone in chat.
I know. Everyone in chat who surely at this point has no idea that Sephiroth killed.
Oh, you know what that reminds me of?
What's
Remember when
that?
Harry Potter that was it Dumbledore? Is that his name? Because I'm not a Potter fan.
That's the name
The
of the
professor, right?
head
Yeah.
wizard. Uh-huh.
They're like, oh, Dumbledore dies, and then like, so the book got leaked, and then these people would just
Hmm.
drive past these lines, but
Oh yeah.
Dumbledore dies, and they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what you're doing right now. You're like, Sephiroth killed Aerith. Oh no.
Yeah, except this was like they were doing this that
At the
instance.
release.
It was at release when everybody was like camping out in front of like Barnes and Noble.
I remember that. It's messed up, but funny, but really messed up. But yeah, yeah. So with the whole thing with Tifa, honestly, we can speculate all day. This is a new work.
Hmm.
There's really no point in trying to reference like what happened before, because they could just be like, "Ha, surprise! Here's what we're doing different." You know, if everything in the original game was exactly like one for one spot on up to this point, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, sure, let's go back to the OG game." But there's only so much you can infer from the OG game versus what they have planned. The new game clearly is different. Like
Yeah.
anyone who's played both can tell you it's different in many ways. And I think it's only going to diverge to be even more different as we go on,
Yeah.
and not more similar. But we'll see because, like I said, just all speculations at this point.
Yeah. In another comment we actually got was a pretty surprising to me and to Baku as well. This one comes from Heavy Lunch Studio, who says, "Happy to deliver those fresh made cookies from your mom indie experiences. Except the cookies are foraged mushrooms and they come from old man's in the woods." This was from the developer behind Hermit and Pig, the indie that Baku and I showcased, and uh, instantly I just thought looked so endearing and
Mhm.
yeah, definitely the brand of humor caught my interest right away.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Go follow them, give them the likes. Make sure you wish listing their game if you find that humor or that sort of approach interesting and worth supporting. Yeah, we don't imagine like Square Enix dropping by as like, hey, nice talking about my game there, you know, but indie developers like we're just kind of all in this community, you know. There's that nice feeling about like they're making a thing, they're asking us for feedbacks, we're telling them, and then they make changes like the next day. Like it's a kind of experience that you just don't get with big studios.
fun fact actually, now that you kind of mentioned, because it's funny you would say that it's not like Square Enix would show up to one of your videos. Well,
Oh, well.
I it's tangentially related
Hmm.
because my review of Secret of Evermore actually has received a couple of comments from two different developers of Secret of Evermore
Shut up,
who actually,
really?
yeah, they came in to like talk about their time like providing like doing some of the programming and stuff, and just some of the work involved, and it was actually super interesting, and yeah, uh,
Hmm.
gives you the warm fuzzies, honestly.
It
um
does. It does.
so yeah, I'm sorry. I just had to, because it's still like one of my like
Crown achievements,
basically,
kind
yeah.
of. Yeah. It's a nice warm feeling as for a content creator, especially. I think it was the other day I was not quite as cool as Derek's story, but the other day I was talking about Max Monster on Twitter,
Oh
and I
yeah.
was just like, "Yo, this game is really cool." And I was just, who was it? It was it's not no punctuation. Where who are the guys over at no punctuation?
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
I forgot. But yeah, it's like a relatively large and older gaming channel, and they just recently found Max Monster, and I'm like, ha, played this game before they thought it was cool. And then I just made like a tweet, and then wouldn't you know it, that the folks over at Max Monster is like, you know, I forgot what they said, but they said something in response, and I was just like, wow, they're like really on it, you know. So yeah, but that's the kind of experience that you can expect from indie devs. So I definitely respect the hustle, and I respect the care that they put into the community. All right. Last but not least, we've got one from Joshua Castro who said, "Last Monday, I was so busy at work I couldn't listen, but I kept busy. And when Wednesday rolled around, my first task was listen to HitPoint. Then I realized it was an off week and I was sad. But then I realized I could just go back and listen to previous episodes, and I was
Hey.
happy. I didn't even realize you guys had started HitPoint January of last year. Happy 1.5 years so far. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. It's been a year and a half already since we started doing the show.
It's
So
absolutely wild to think of that, actually. Time has just been absolutely flying. And
mhm.
man, all the I want to go back at some point and just like look at back at like some of the news that we've covered that's like turned out to be just so incredible over the last, year and a half. Or maybe that'll
Yeah.
be like a recap episode. I don't know. Not a recap episode. An anniversary celebration, like a look back. I wonder how bad our first episode is. It's got to be terrible.
I always thought that because you already had experience doing this, the even the inaugural episode didn't look terrible.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like
Maybe.
yeah, you already knew what you were kind of doing. So,
I don't know
yeah,
about that.
I
I don't
should go
know.
back and look at.
We'll see. We'll have to go back and look at that sometime down the road.
Absolutely.
No. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No. I was gonna say, yeah, though, if we're ever off, definitely consider watching the previous episodes. And you know what else you can watch? Even after this episode airs, a couple of days ago, Derek got a crazy unboxing video that you guys should check out.
Oh,
So
yeah.
was it 9 days ago?
Yeah,
9
thereabout.
days ago.
Yeah, and that video is actually surprisingly doing okay for an unboxing video. I don't know why. Normally those just do so poorly, but man, I'm really glad that people got to see this one because there was some special stuff, especially at the
I saw
end.
some really cool stuff in there. I was extremely jealous. I was just filled with jealousy. And then, but of course, you've earned it, right? So
I don't know
please
about
enjoy.
that.
I
But
think
I
you
will
have.
enjoy it. I will enjoy it though, for sure.
Like you put in effort to make things, and then people appreciate the things you've made, and then they're contributing to that. It's a virtuous cycle.
Stop it.
Yeah, you're
All
too
right.
kind.
We need to also listen to a voicemail that we received. And if you have a voicemail that you would like for Baku and I to listen in on and discuss in our next episode, you can do so via phone at 785-337-3805, or you could email us a file to hitpoint at superderekRPGs.com. Here's the
Heck
voicemail.
yeah.
Hello, Super Derek and Baku-san. Russell from Massachusetts here, and I just finished up playing Callan's Curse, the demo, which is a really cool first-person dungeon-crawling RPG that I highly recommend. And now I'm playing Prodroid Delta, which is a really cool 3D Mega Man X-like, which is really fun. And I was wondering, what indie game that's been out for years on PC would you want to see port to consoles? My personal pick would be Tower by FaxDoc and Nostalgia Tree Games. Thank you. Goodbye.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Russell. So I don't know if it's been out for years and years, but there's a couple that I think would be a lot of fun to see come to Nintendo Switch. Probably Nintendo Switch, probably other things too. But I mean, I feel like Nintendo Switch is like the easy one to get on, at least initially. And the one that immediately comes to mind, and it hasn't been years and years, but there's what was it called? There's a relatively new one that was published by Something Classic. It's the Game Boy Color style game.
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. It's called For a Vast Future. That's what it is. And
Yes.
last I saw, it's only on PC, but I feel like it would really go well on a little Nintendo Switch handheld, and I think that would be really, really nice. And I wonder how likely that is, actually. I should probably check and see if someone says it is on Twitch or on Switch. Gosh. Well, okay. Well, when I played it, it was only on PC. It's harder to come up with answers to this because I think that the barrier for console releases has been kind of lowered over the years. So I don't know, Baku, have you got any other suggestions for?
You know what's funny, Derek, is that I feel like we did talk about coming to Switch on this show.
Man.
That's what I'm laughing about. I'm like, I'm pretty sure we've talked about this.
Okay, fine. Okay, here, I got another one.
Okay.
I can't remember its name though. But it's the one from I don't know if it counts though because it's still in development. But I played the demo on PC, and it was the game that was the 2-player co-op Illusion of Gaia inspired. Oh God, from Positive Concept Games. What is it called? I'll tell you in a second.
I mean, you remember the developer, but
Shrine's
Legacy, yes.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Oh, I met the 2 developers at MacFest. They're really cool. Yeah. I've been following their development. Shout out to Shrine's Legacy, of course. A great game. Super nice being able to chat with them. And if you guys have run into them at game festivals, definitely tell them that HitPoint sent you. But yeah, they were doing the demos over there, and the game was a lot of fun. I had to basically give up my seat because there are these people who are just like, how long is this guy gonna keep playing the game? I'm like, I think I should like let people have their turn. But anyways, yeah, super cool. Love to see that one on a console. There are a lot of indie games that are maybe they don't have like a big publisher backing them, so they're really only releasing on Steam. There's a whole lot of games like that. So for example, I think what is it called? There's this one game that I thought you would like. Hang on, it's fun. A Jack Move. Do you remember Jack Move?
Oh, Jack Move. That does sound really, really, really familiar.
It's a cyberpunk turn-based RPG, and I'm like,
oh yeah, that one.
Derek would be into this. Yeah. So like Jack Move, I don't know if it's
on Switch.
It is on the Switch. Okay, yeah. It's like I don't know if it's on the Switch.
It's a harder question to answer these days because everything is coming out on Switch.
Well, you know what? I do have 2. There are a couple of games that are the RPG Maker style horror adventure game that I feel like they would go well. One of them we'll talk about later in the day, so those games I feel like they would be great on console, and a lot of them are coming out on console, albeit like after the successful Steam release. If they see good numbers, then the publisher's like, okay, maybe we'll put it on consoles, right? And that's been the trend is we'll release it on Steam first. If it does well, we'll push it on console. So yeah, great question there. Thank you so much again, Russell.
Wandering Sword is also a game that I played a while back. I played the demo last year for this Steam Summer Next Fest, and I put out a video talking about it. It was a sponsored video, but I was just happy to get a chance to play it early, and I actually really enjoyed it. But the interface on PC was kind of if I may say so. It was not good. If it was on a console though, because here's the thing, it didn't have controller support at all. If it was ported to console though, I think it would be a really fun game for everybody. But for that demo, it was it was a little bit harder to enjoy than it should have been, I think.
2 more. Quartet and My Familiar from our friends over at Something Classic Games. Shout out to them.
But those aren't out yet. I mean, I guess neither is.
I give up on finding things that are just make sure. I don't know if they're on console because I've always hound them for the Steam release. But if they haven't done so already, just get it on the Switch, man. The Switch is a good console.
I'm sure they're aiming for it. So yeah, if you have any questions that you would like us to sort of answer, feel free to leave us a voicemail at 785-337-3805. Or again, you could email us a file to hitpoint@superderekRPGs FFVII.com. And now it is time for us to talk about some not awesome news.
Not the greatest news. Listen, don't get mad at the bear bad news, okay? Like, we didn't decide this. We're just letting you know.
Baku,
But
how
anyways,
dare you?
Yeah, how dare you? We have not personally caused the delays, believe me. But all right, the first piece we've got is regarding Chain Echo's physical release. So not really an announcement, more of a discovery. So back a couple months back, Chain Echoes came out, of course, to a large fanfare. The physical release was being handled by First Press Games over in Europe. Originally, it was slated for the summer release of this year. So, of course, now that we're in the summertime, I went to their website and I'm like, oh, when is my, order going to come in?
Yeah.
And I couldn't find any exact date, which made me a little nervous because we're in summer. They have this little link that says, oh, check our progress or whatever. So I clicked on that. And it says, actually, physical release are being pushed back to Q3 of this year. So fall time. So, no big deal. Whenever you can get to it, I guess. I mean, the game's already out. It's just a matter of getting the physical. It's not like a Kickstarter where they're like, well, I don't know, we're going to honor this. It's more just production issues. No big deal. I have plenty of games. Take your time. Make it a good one. First Press Games. So for anyone who ordered the physical edition for Chain Echoes, no worries. They're just pushing it back by like a quarter. It'll be fine.
Yeah. They're just making it extra cool.
Extra cool.
I mean, it just looks, it's such a cool looking collector's edition.
Yeah.
All right. So also, we have an update for Pragmata. Capcom announced during their showcase that their upcoming third-person action-adventure game Pragmata will be delayed again. This one's a little bit worse, though, because this delay is indefinite.
Yikes.
This one's a quote from the development team. It is with a heavy heart that we must further postpone the release of Pragmata, the company said. Our team is currently working hard at making this the best game that we possibly can, but we need more time. We will continue to do our best to ensure that the final product is one that is worthy of your patience. Thank you for your continued support.
Yes.
And in a strange twist, this is kind of different. They gave us a delayed trailer.
They gave us the delayed trailer, yes.
So let's check out the delayed trailer.
Hey, Diane! A little help here. Look out. What are you doing?
Those hair physics, though.
Maybe that's why they need more time. Just to animate each individual hair.
Says very sorry, 2022.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm expecting this to be more like a Nier Automata-ish kind of game, so 3D action adventure game. It looks really good. It's coming from Capcom. I was debating if I want to share this because if this is a shooter game, then it kind of goes just out of bounds, like of things that I may not want to share or talk about. But I think it's a 3D action game, more akin to like a Nier Automata. So that's why I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stick to it until we see some like actual gameplay where I can get a better idea of what it is. But they've called it a third-person action adventure game, so I'm just gonna take Capcom's word for it.
I mean, hey, even Uncharted is a third-person action adventure game that has gun mechanics, gun combat. So it could be. It could be.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, whatever. It looks niche-ish enough that I think it qualifies for all of our other kinds of, the umbrella statement. We'll cover whatever we care about.
I respect that they're still trying to make new IP, so there's that. Whether or not it's interesting to you, that's up to your taste. But nonetheless, I do appreciate when big companies aren't just simply doing remasters and remakes and just rehashing, those are welcome, but we also want fresh ideas, right? So I definitely encourage that. All right, so that's basically all the delays, and now we're moving on to updates. So I'll just cover this really quick. Triangle Strategy got a new update coming. Square Enix just released a new update for Triangle Strategy. It's called version 1.1.0. Very, very to the point, right?
Yeah.
No fancy names this time. But I don't know what to expect from the guys over at Triangle Strategy and Octopath Traveler. Anyways, the update will add a character story replay feature. So character story replay, and also a story battle replay feature. So I think I haven't played the game yet, but it sounds like you get to replay character story and story battles. So that could be useful for like levels and such. And an extra chapter event that can be viewed once a player completes Sarah Noah's route. So that's just a free update that's coming. So if you've already finished Triangle Strategy and you're like, oh, there's nothing left for me to do, I've 100% it. Maybe not so much, because there's this new thing coming your way now. So turn on your game again and see that extra thing.
That's pretty rad. That's pretty rad. That, I mean, God, could you imagine if they could have done that for like Chrono Trigger back in the day?
Or like,
God, it would have been so nice if back in the day and I guess in a way, this Atelier kind of was able to do that, and I guess that's kind of how we got Radical Drawers. So never mind, I guess.
The pros and cons. Example. Yeah, the pros and cons of updates. On the one hand, you get cool little updates like these, and it's just nice. On the other hand, it gives like developer a leeway to like not finish games at release. Yeah. And then your hard copy isn't perfect and complete. Pros and cons. Speaking of updates, we've got another one, this time from Tango Gameworks. They've announced a major update coming to their surprise 2022 hit, HiFi Rush. And this update actually has a name. It's called the Arcade Challenge update. This update will add 2 game modes, the BPM Rush and the Power Up, Tower Up mode. Yeah, these guys know how to name stuff.
I mean, hey.
Power Up, Tower Up.
I was going to say... the guy behind Nier, what's their name?
Yoko Taro.
Yeah, Yoko Taro is going to be very disappointed that you don't think that 1.1.0 was a brilliant title. Okay, I'll have you know, Yoko Taro is very upset right now with you.
Didn't he do like what was it called? Like that DLC.
It was like a serial number. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't think he's impressed with 1.1.0 per se. He needs to be like an infinite series of numbers. Now, yeah, the update will be coming and it will be free in July 5th of this year. So keep an eye out. We do have a short trailer from Tango Games that outlines the updates. Just very nice of them. Again, this is a free update that they're gonna send out. So
yeah, let's check that out.
Yeah.
Yoko Taro thinks that number is far too rational.
I still want to play this game.
Yeah, I still haven't. It does look really cool though.
Yeah, we're looking at the extra game modes now. So it almost feels like kind of a boss rush kind of deal.
Like a HiFi boss rush?
Sure.
I like it.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird because they were saying how this game didn't really meet like expectation, but this game also sold better than they thought they would. So
I know,
I don't know what to believe. Like,
yeah, they're just talking out of both sides of their mouth at this point, if that's the case.
I'd like to think that this game actually did much better than they thought it would. It's a game that they have done absolutely no previous, marketing. They just released it, and then people are like, "What's this?"
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's. Yeah, that's pretty much the definition of like an out of nowhere success. So
It absolutely is. So unless they were just that greedy, they're like, oh, we're expecting to sell 5 million copies. Like, yeah,
that's
not
like
happening.
some Hollywood accounting going on there. All right. Well, that about does it for all of the updates to previous releases. So we're going to start talking about some of the games that are coming out this week, and I think also the following week, because
Yes.
as Baku stated earlier, he's not going to be here because he's going to be doing some other stuff next weekend because he's got a life, and he's just got more, higher priority things in his life than me and you. I'm sorry, everybody. No, but seriously, we figured it would probably be better to talk about these releases in advance rather than oh yeah, here's all the things that already came out.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So we'll kick it off with Chloe's Requiem Encore. It's the remake of the 2013 2D horror. This is why you assigned it to me, huh? The 2D horror adventure game Chloe's Requiem Encore will release on the 20th of this month on PC via Steam. Now, as mentioned before, the side story Con Amore will be included in the remake and will also be made playable after completing the main story. And we also have the trailer for that as a quick refresher to anybody who might not remember the deets on this game.
So there you go, like more games to answer to Russell's questions earlier, right? Like these kind of games is what I'm talking about, like RPG Maker games.
It has been out for years and years, since 2013. And the remake even is still only coming to PC via Steam.
So like something that we covered before is like Witcher's House MV. That's like a remake of a similar kind of game that was released on Steam, and then later on it got released on Switch and other consoles. It's another one. There are a couple of these like 2D horror games that would do really well. Man, so you have to walk around and look for clues and try not to die.
Yeah,
basically
as a fan of Corpse Party, this definitely of the first Corpse Party, this definitely appeals to me somewhat. I could see the fun in this.
It's not a bad game for like a palate cleanser. After like 150 hours of like Xenoblade, I might want to play one of these. Like 10 hours max, and just like be done with all the stories.
Yeah,
they're fast. These are fast. You can binge it through like a day or two.
Especially if you're not trying to get all of the good endings or all of the bad endings. If you're satisfied with just getting whatever you get, you can play for 2 hours, die, and then you're like, all right, that's cool. That's the end.
Exactly. It's nice. It's nice. Short games have their place. Like we especially when all these like big AAA titles are well, maybe not AAA titles, but all these like more well-known titles, or maybe something like Trails games are just like 100 hours each.
I'm still playing Cold Steel 3. Still on it, man. Oh my gosh.
Just the thought of having to play all these Trails games scares me. I'm sure they're great, but man, it's many hundreds of hours of my life. All right.
I think you got next here, huh?
I do. Next up, we've got a 2D turn-based RPG called Soulvars from Gino Labo and Shueisha Games. Sorry, that's Shueisha Games. Will be coming to PS4, 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, Switch, and PC on June 27th. For our viewers who want to play the games on their mobile device, and there are quite a few of you, we're happy to report that this game is immediately available on iOS and Android, and they are not free-to-play gacha games. They're pay-to-play, full-fledged JRPGs. Let's take a look at the short trailer. This one is pretty short. This one's like less than a minute. Just to give you an idea of what we're talking about.
Yeah. So this is going to be perfect for those... restricted in the kinds of games that they can play.
Yeah. This one's kind of like a deck builder, turn-based RPG. Yeah. So even in an interview with Gino from Gino Labs, so the guy who actually made the game, it's more or less a one-person operation. And then he was like, they more like they were like, I don't want to assume, but they were like, I've made this game specifically that it would not be a gacha game for mobile. And this is like back a couple years ago. This is the enhanced version of the game with, of course, Y aspect ratio and controller support, but otherwise keeps all the nice graphics, the pixel arts that they have developed. So it's pretty cool. And if you are not necessarily convinced and you want to try the game, the demo will be available from starting tomorrow until the 26th.
That's awesome.
Yeah. As part of the Steam Next Fest. So, of course, it's going to be on Steam. So, yeah, check it out. You can start trying the game out as early as tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely check that out.
Yeah, highly definitely want to give like devs like these our support, because we just got too many of these like free to play gacha BS on phones and
games that are designed to addict you and then extract your money.
Yeah, basically.
And this is not one of them, and that's incredible.
This is not one of them. So, all right.
So next up, we've got this one from the creators of Danganronpa at Spike Chunsoft. The brand new dark fantasy action game Master Detective Archives Rain Code, which will be available on the 30th only on Nintendo Switch. Pre-orders are still open, and the limited edition is currently still available while supplies last. There's also a season pass with 4 DLC sub-stories coming in the future, and we have a trailer for this one as well.
Yes.
Arrival in a city of rain, memories lost.
This one's a nice, concise trailer that tells you all about the game. It's pretty nice.
I remember this one.
Challenge the greatest mystery in this lucid detective adventure.
This one looked pretty dang good.
What lies beyond
like Danganronpa, but with some kind of interesting combat with boss fights.
Yeah. It looks really interesting. Like, I'm not really down with Danganronpa, but I might be down for this one.
Yeah. You know, I'm good with like sort of that visual novel style game, as long as it has some kind of, I don't know, combat or some sort of like something to chew on. Right? That's
absolutely. Yeah, man, I can't wait to see some gameplay. That's all I want. I want to see some gameplay. And there was like a longer gameplay trailer, by the way. So it's not that they've been hiding that. There is one, but it's like 4 minutes long, and I was like, okay, maybe not for our show, but you know, it's at the Spike Chunsoft YouTube. So if you want to see what the gameplay is like and make a better determination if that's your kind of game, definitely head over there and take a look. We've got another detective game here. This time it is the 2010 puzzle game from Capcom for a fresh coat of paint. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective will be available on June 30th on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. We've got a special trailer this time with Shu Takumi. For those who don't know, he also worked on Ace Attorney. Only the Shu Takumi. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
You guys should know who that is.
I totally know that guy. It's that guy. Shu.
It's this guy.
Takumi.
Takumi, yes.
It's almost time for the game's release, and I can't wait for you to play it. But first, let's get started with this.
He's so fashionable. That shirt.
What a dignified pose for a dead man. That's like a pose that's like almost as iconic for like a dead person as like Yamcha from Dragon Ball after the explosion.
A man named Sissel loses both his memory and his life.
Oh God.
And his dignity.
Only clue he has is a red-headed detective.
A red-headed detective.
A rookie detective brimming with a sense of justice. She too is being targeted, and Sissel witnesses her death. Who was I? Why was I killed? Who killed me? And what does it mean that I was given these powers of the dead? Use the powers of the dead to possess and trick items. The controls are easy. Connect Sissel's glowing blue soul to the core of objects to possess them. Possess the tire.
So
Possess the bowl.
Yeah,
is
so
like a
that's how
three-
the game is
I
played.
was gonna say it's like a 3-minute long trailer. Do we?
Yeah, we
wanna
don't have to
skip
look at the
around?
whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we watched most of this at one point or another. So,
We probably did, yes.
yeah, so I'll go ahead and pause that there. But if you are already interested in Ghost Trick, you can go check out the full trailer. We'll have a link in the description after the show.
Heck yeah. And
Oh.
if you're really interested, the demo is
Oh.
available on all the supported platforms, and the
Oh.
saves will carry into the full game.
Incredible. I love
Yeah.
it when demos do that.
Yeah,
Man,
absolutely.
It feels like for the longest time we were just in this desert of when it comes to demos. And I think it was because of PlayStation, like kind of starting to mandate more demos for their games on their platforms, that we've been starting to see sort of this resurgence, and I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, it's so nice. And then last and probably least, we have this one from a little tiny indie RPG developer that we think is probably deserving of our announcement. Without us talking about it too much, you might know who it is or what it is coming out. It's called this Final Fantasy XVI. I'm not really sure what that is, but it's coming out this week, only on PlayStation 5 for now. Seems like it's probably got like a 6-month exclusivity thing going on,
Yeah.
which is pretty impressive for an indie like this one. But
Yeah, for a
let's go
tiny indie.
yeah, let's go ahead and check out this indie trailer here from these guys.
Indie trailer. Shoestring budget.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I heard it's a 2-man team. Okay.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
It's just one voice actor and one programmer, and they just did everything. That's
Yeah.
pretty impressive for having 2 people.
Oh yeah, definitely. Man, for a fly-by-night studio like Square
Square
Enix?
Enix.
And I think that the X must be like a she sound, like a
Yes.
she, all right? Yeah, who knows?
So X is Roman numeral for 10, so I think it's Square Any 10.
Yeah.
Or Square N9. Because IX is
oh, yeah.
9. Yes. Square N9.
Oh, are these Roman numerals? I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I am a shield of Rosaria, and I will do my duty.
All right, though, but say what you want about like new Final Fantasy games. Like this one looks amazing. It does.
It's gorgeous. I've not played the demo. I'm not really like, I haven't been keeping up, honestly. It looks incredible, and from everything I hear, people are already saying game of the year material for sure. I mean, yeah, but we'll see. I'm sure it's going to be incredible, but you can find out for yourself when the game comes out on the 22nd. And if you want to try it out before that happens, the demo is currently out, and as is common with a lot of Square Enix's demos, save files will carry over to the full experience. So yeah, check it out. It's coming.
What's
cow,
one
man.
good strategy maybe is play the game, play the demo the day before, right?
Yeah.
And then you can treat it like the game came out on the 21st, and on the 22nd you can just keep playing, right?
Hey, incredible! Just start playing one
Big
day
brain.
early.
This is big brain.
Galaxy brain there, Baku. Oh man, that would be hilarious. Could you? Here, you should totally do that on Twitch. Just go out and be like, I got Final Fantasy 16 early We're playing it
Oh
now.
my
lol.
god!
And then
I
just
don't
like,
want Square Enix taking me down.
and then
the
play
day
up through
before.
like right before the end of the demo. Save and be like, all right, we'll come back tomorrow to finish it off.
Yep, getting a little tired there, guys. Yeah, don't think I can keep going.
Oh jeez.
Oh man, that'd be hilarious.
That'd be incredible.
All right. So
Well, that
now
about
that
does
we're
it
done.
for all of those. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
some announcements regarding.
Yeah, so we got
new
some
games.
new game announcements and some indie games to talk about. One of which I actually think that you will be very excited to see. It looks really good. But first, let's talk about updates to the Xbox Showcase. As you guys remember from last week, during the Xbox Showcase, there were a good few mini games that were talked about. And of course, because it being the Xbox Showcase, they don't tell you what other platforms they're on. And there's a little bit of an embargo. We have to wait like a good day or two until they tell us about it. So now we're here to make those updates. So I'm just going to go through all the games really fast, tell you what they're on, because you know that they're going to be on other systems. It's just now it's just a matter of me telling you what they're on. So let's start with Capcom's new IP, Konitsugami Path of the Goddess. In addition to Xbox Series X and S, it will also be available on PS5 and PC. So it looks like this is going to be like a new gen only kind of game. No PS4, no Xbox Ones, and definitely no Switch. In fact, what you will find in common is that none of these games will be on the Switch for now. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which I think it's now proven to be Like a Dragon 8.
Nice.
So probably going back to the turn-based mechanics. So hope to see Derek play that when that's out. And he will be able to play that game on PS4, 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, and PC. As a matter of fact, all the other games that I'm about to talk about will be on those same consoles. And that includes Persona 3 Reload, Persona 5 Tactica, and Metaphor Refantazio. All of that is, again, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, and PC. No Switch for now. Specifically for Metaphor, because I couldn't find another place to bring this up, there is going to be a special broadcast for Metaphor that's planned for June 20th at 9 a.m. Eastern and 8 a.m. Central Time. We will list the link that you can watch this special in the description down below. No promises that it will be translated to English. It looks like it might be Japanese only, but I don't know. There might be English. This is just like a smaller like broadcast. You know what I mean?
I think that the real question I have is there anything that you remember from the Xbox Showcase that remained an exclusive that we cared about?
The Hindenburg one that we talked about.
Still
the
no
one where
update on
the
that? Okay.
No, I think that one is just Xbox.
Just Xbox and PC.
Yeah,
Okay.
that one is actually an exclusive to Xbox and PC. But the rest of these are the ones that we've talked about that are on other consoles. So yes.
So that's really important to denote because if there was something exclusive to Xbox, that might influence somebody's decision to purchase it or not, but cool.
Okay, I think for the super dedicated viewers of ours, I think they're all in the know and they know that these games are totally going to be available on other consoles. I was just talking to somebody on stream the other day too. It's like, what's the point of this embargo? Right? Like no one is going to be like, oh boy, I don't see this game being announced on anything else. I'm going to go out and buy an Xbox right now.
It does not make any sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Everyone knows it's going to be on other consoles.
And the really funny thing is though, like when PlayStation had their event, Xbox was dunking on them on Twitter for not having any exclusives or something, right? And now, I mean, I'm sure Xbox still has some exclusives. It's just none that like I cared about really.
Yeah.
You know, and everything that and everything that Xbox is exclusive for is also coming to PC. So it's like there is no Xbox exclusive
per se. Yeah, absolutely. As a platform, yeah, absolutely. Which it's pro consumer in a way.
Mhm.
I
More games
like
in more
it.
places is more better.
Yeah, I like it. But yeah, Sony and Nintendo, yeah, they're never gonna do this. They're never going to do this. But there you go. That's all that we've got for the update to the Xbox Showcase.
Yeah. So moving along, we've got this one here. Have you ever wanted to create your own levels and classic Zelda-like games like A Link to the Past or stuff like that? Well, now you can, sort of, ish. It comes from developer Sky Devil Palm and publisher Apogee Entertainment. Yes, that Apogee Entertainment.
That Apogee.
I already hear the sound in the back of my head from like starting up Duke Nukem 2. Announced that a retro dungeon creator called Questmaster will be coming to Nintendo Switch and PC. In this game, you can create your own dungeons, share it with your friends, and play them with multiplayer co-op. And we have a trailer for that as well.
Yeah, what a missed opportunity from Nintendo. Nintendo should have made this for actual Zelda.
They should have.
Yeah, because we've seen what happens with Mario.
Yeah, Mario Maker,
right? Yeah, like this is basically Mario Maker with Zelda. See?
Yeah,
it's like this is not quite Zelda, but this is the closest thing you're gonna get to like a Zelda Maker.
I mean, let's be real. This is absolutely unabashedly
Zelda.
Yeah. And
there's
then,
not even
nothing wrong
trying
with
to
that.
hide it.
Ain't nothing wrong with it either.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Look,
even the maker is just like Mario Maker ish.
Mm-hmm.
It is legally distinct from, but
I think this is really cool. Like, if Nintendo won't deliver, someone else will. It's just that simple, right?
Yep. These guys are eating Nintendo's lunch. Look at that. That's so cool.
Yeah. You can share maps and play with your friends. They're multiplayers. See? Multiplayer.
Yes. I kind of wonder if there's going to be a campaign that you can play that's like included without having to make it yourself first.
That would be smart if they did that.
And then like make that good, and then the level builder could be really fun after that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Well, anyways, that looks pretty dang cool, and it's scheduled. It is scheduled for quarter 3 of 2023. So
I'll show turn British real quick. All right. Next up, we've got Vivo Interactive. They've just announced that they are now working on the 3rd installment of their monster catching RPG, Nexomon 3. Now
it's already on 3.
They're already on 3.
Man,
they're on 3. Yeah. Now I know that people might be grunting. They're like, "Oh no, not another Pokemon RPG." And there are a good amount out there, but this I gotta tell you, this is probably the best looking one and probably the most ambitious one to date, because this one is going to be a 3D open world with new battle system. It looks very similar to, I don't know, like the really like the newer Pokemon games where like a little Pokemon will follow you and run around an open world. So there's a teaser trailer. It doesn't really show you what the world looks like, but it gives you an idea what kind of graphics we're talking about. So let's take a look.
This sounds interesting.
Yeah. It's a very much a teaser trailer, so don't expect much out of this. Okay. It's just so you can see what they're up to. So this is the kind of graphics that they are looking to build their entire world on. And as a matter of fact, there are screenshots that you can see in their Steam page that shows more of what they're trying to do. And from all the screenshots we've seen, it looks like something like, I don't know, Arceus.
Yeah.
It looks more like Pokemon Arceus. So we think it's super cool. So if you are one of those people who love the Pokemon gameplay, but just really hate the performance on the Switch, this could be the game that you're looking for. Now, there's no release window right now, but this game is being developed for PC. So as they come up with additional news, we're definitely going to let you guys know about that. Yeah. Nexomon 1 and 2 are basically kind of like a black and white. Oh, no, sorry, not black and white. Pokemon black and white.
Yeah.
Style graphics, maybe a little better. This new one is going to be 3D open world. So that's like the big jump.
Yeah. And I was going to also say is that like Nexomon is not, it's a name that I've heard before. These people have been making waves in the space for years now because Nexomon does what Nintendo don't.
Are they Sega?
Maybe. So that's exciting if you're into the Pokemon space, and if the newest stuff that they've been putting out has been leaving you feeling a little cold, check it out.
Yeah.
Well, I got something here for you guys. Developer Two Awesome Studio and publisher Critical Reflex is developing a new Metroidvania game called Altered Alma. The developer said that the game is a space opera that combines elements from RPGs and dating sims.
I want to see the dating sims element. I want to see it.
Just press R2 to hold hands.
Yes. Oh, wait, no, this is the wrong trailer.
Oh, wait. Okay,
wrong trailer. Wrong trailer.
How did that happen?
Abort.
How did that happen? Did you add this after oh man.
Abort.
Okay. All right, here, I'll fix this real quick. I can fix this, Baku. All right.
You can fix it?
Yeah, I can fix this. I can make it better. There we go. Is this the dating sim? Oh, there we go. Oh, that is a really cool animated trailer. The animation quality here is nice. Okay. What do we got here? Wait, this has dating sim mechanics?
Apparently. And that's according to the developer, so don't at me. That's what they said.
Okay.
It's kind of like steampunkish, but also with aliens, and yeah.
Oh, if it's got aliens, you got to call it something else. It's alien punk.
Alien punk.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Space punk.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's that's actually
Really
probably
just
right.
add the word punk to everything, and
I mean, why not? I think as soon as you do, it just makes it sound so much better. By the way, guys, I think if we're going to rename the podcast to HitPoint Punk. We're thinking about it. We're still workshopping it.
We got to change our backgrounds, and well, actually, Derek's halfway there.
The show,
I needed.
Yeah, the show is actually it's still going to be called HitPoint, but we're just it's a show. The genre is podcast punk.
I need like a cybernetic eye and like just tubes, random tubes. This comes
just
out
brass and cool jackets. That's all you need. Okay, so for this one, we don't have a release window just yet, but we do know that it's being developed for PC. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
All right, and the last game that we have to talk about that are just being announced is actually the one that I think Derek might be interested in.
I know. I saw the trailer. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this?
From developer Different Sense Games and publisher Twin Sails Interactive, they just announced a new turn-based RPG called Bloomtown, A Different Story. This is a narrative JRPG mixing turn-based combat, monster taming, and social RPG set in the 1960s, where you play as Emily and her younger brother Chester, as they were sent on their summer holiday to their grandpa's cozy and quiet town. A demon world is growing underneath the facet of this pleasant town, and the kids are disappearing everywhere. So our hero sets out on a journey to try and solve this mystery. And I just realized that I had completely not finished writing out this article. Thankfully, I remember exactly what I was going to write. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't have you read this one. This one made no sense.
That's okay.
But
All
the trailer will make sense.
Let's check out this trailer, because what you described already sounds so cool. And look at that.
Yeah.
These visuals are stellar right now. Okay.
It's fishing.
Hey, it is a JRPG confirmed.
Yep. That's yoga.
Yoga in the 60s?
Pilates?
No.
Pilates?
That's got to be like jazzercise. Or oh, cool. God. That looks cool.
Well, it's got like
This is like
the
Doge.
the combat looks very similar to like what is it called, like Valkyrie Profile.
Okay.
So I wonder if that's how you would control them too, like with the buttons.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Dude,
it looks
that
really
looks
good.
Cool.
Right? I saw that and I'm like, whoa, okay, we have to talk about this one.
That has piqued my interest. Spill the
Well,
deets, Baku.
You know what happens when Derek's interest is piqued? That means that we're gonna,
Means we're gonna watch that trailer again. Actually,
watch the trailer again. Let's do it.
Look at
The music's
that.
so nice too.
Yeah.
Art's nice, music's nice. The what is it? The base story, the concept is really cool. There's a fishing mini game.
The little guys that are like, you can see like there's something not quite right going on in here. Like some of the people are like
They're
glitching.
missing children.
People are glitching and
Dude, you're being chased.
okay, is this 60s or is this 80s? Because I saw a boombox there also.
They said 60s. Maybe they mistyped it. Maybe it's 80s.
Because that would also explain the jazzercise or something.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. It's cool as heck. Anachronisms
I
be
really
damned.
like this. I really like
that.
this.
That is so cool.
Yeah. All right.
All right. All right.
So this game, unfortunately, also has no release date or time frame. I know, but it is being developed it is developed for consoles and PC. So if you don't want to play on PC, there are more ways to play this game than some of the other ones that we talked about. And I just went to the Steam page. It says 1960s. So that's what they said. That's
Okay.
from the developers.
That's okay. I think the presence of boomboxes is cool. So it's just a slightly different universe.
It's a different universe.
Slightly
Let's correct
different.
them. Let's write to them like,
No.
I think you mean the 1980s.
No. No. Be like, actually, there were no boomboxes until the 1980s.
According
Or
to
70s.
Wikipedia.
No.
Watch, you know what? Watch
Do not.
watch different sense games just comments in our comments. Well, actually, according to our research, yeah, definitely write to us, different sense games. We'd love to hear from you. Okay.
No. But seriously, that game looks so cool. So
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
don't change a thing. Keep the boomboxes. The boomboxes must stay. That's cool as heck.
The
All right.
boombox must stay.
Well, that
All right.
ties things up, I think, for
The
the.
games announcements. Yes.
But we have a
All
few more
right.
things to talk about.
Yes, as you guys can imagine, there are still just a tad more news to go over. So I'll take the first industry news,
Yeah.
and that is with regards to the Atelier series, one of the longest RPG series, actually, that we don't really give it enough credit for because it's not like, oh, hardcore RPG fighting gods in the end. This is more like low-key alchemist, solve villagers' problems kind of RPG.
Yeah.
Now, in a recent interview with Siliconera, Junzo Hosoi, the head of development over at Gust, which is the company that works on the Atelier series, he had mentioned that it is actually possible to get us the remake of Atelier Elie, the Alchemist of Salberg 2, and Atelier Lilie, the Alchemist of Salberg 3. So basically the second and third game. Following the recent release and actually pretty great success of Atelier Marie Remake,
Okay.
which is the first game.
Yeah.
Now, Hosoi also mentioned that one of their goals is to have the entire Atelier series, starting from Marie, to be available in digital stores. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Thank you for that. I was like, what did I write there? We will link a complete interview in the description down below, but that's sort of like the highlight for all the fans who are interested. Hey, look, if you want all these games remade, let them know. Elie and Lilie are waiting for you. If you tell them that you want it and you are actually, getting these games and playing them, they might just give us these remakes. So,
all right.
And stuff.
So here's my big exciting bit of news for the. I mean, and I don't even know if Baku was going to mention this or not, but I
was.
Okay, I was going to say I definitely forced your hand a little bit by throwing it in the title and thumbnail.
No, you didn't.
Okay, cool. Well, so a couple of days ago, the folks over at RPG site broke the news that the Star Ocean Second Story R logos, both in Japanese and in English, were found over at Square Enix's official support website.
Yes.
So, for context, Square Enix re-released Second Evolution for PlayStation Vita and PS4 in 2015, but it was only available in Japan.
Yes.
And that was around the same time that we got the First Departure R, right? So,
yeah. Yes.
Yeah, back in around 2015, we in the West got First Departure R, but not Second Evolution R.
It's very bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact
was it called Second Evolution R? I think it was just called Second Evolution.
No. Well, first, I don't know what it was called in Japan, but first it was called First Departure R. Was the PSP game release remade or ported to Switch. So it sounds like, based on the logo, Second Story R, that we might actually be getting a second chance at the second story.
So the thing to point out here that I think some other places have already pointed out too is that Star Ocean, so there's Star Ocean's Second Story, which is the second story, which is the original game. Yes. And
I loved it, by the way. I have a review. Go check it out if you haven't been introduced. It is so good. Yeah.
Check out that review.
I mean, the game is so good. The review's pretty good too, I guess.
The review is amazing. Now, there is a Star Ocean Second Evolution. Now, that came out on PSP in 2008 for Japan, which then got released again with an enhanced version on the Vita and PS4, and also PS3, actually, in 2015. Yeah, it was very weird how they did that. But we never got that outside of Japan. Yeah. So the question that I think all the fans always had in mind was, okay, why wouldn't you release this thing that you have an enhanced version? All the code's there.
Yeah.
You just need to translate it, which nowadays for Square Enix, that's not a difficult task, especially since, it's not a difficult task, especially if they don't plan on recording English voices. Yeah. They just want to release it.
I know.
Like they could translate. Yeah.
The cynic in me is thinking, are they just going to chat GPT this? Is that why we're finally getting it? Because the technology made it literally like a bad. It's gonna, if they do, it's probably gonna not be great, but it's gonna be like 2 weekends worth of work.
Exactly.
I really hope that they use proper localizers to do the job.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, but now the key thing to point out is that this is not called Star Ocean Second Evolution R. This is being called Star Ocean the Second Story R.
Yeah, which is different.
Goes back to the original title. So we wonder if, all the new things from Evolution will be carried over in this remake, or is this just a remake of the original game? No one knows. In fact, because this is not an official announcement, we're not going to treat it like it is an official announcement.
Yep. They just goofed, and now we have a logo that we're not supposed to have yet.
Yes.
And that's
so
about it.
Hype responsibly, everybody. This is not an official announcement, but when they do and whenever they do, we'll be sure to let you know. But I think the big thing about it not being an official announcement is this. It's very simply that they could still change their mind about a lot of things. That logo might even be old. Maybe the new logo is Second Evolution R. Right?
Yeah.
We don't know. Yeah, but we don't know until they announce it. But we can tell you that this leak is extremely credible because it came from their actual website.
Yeah.
So they definitely have thought about it at least, right? But that's all we can say.
They hired. We know that they hired an artist to make a logo.
They've thought about it.
Somebody got paid to make that. So, yeah.
But stuff gets canceled all the time. That could have been an old project got canceled. Who knows?
Could be. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Yeah. So I don't want to get everybody's hopes up.
But maybe.
But maybe.
Quite possibly.
Quite possibly. I would love it if they can release Second Evolution or Second Story R.
I know.
I think we're all waiting.
The original release was such a great game. Yeah, cannot recommend it enough to people who are just looking for a PlayStation 1 era RPG that somehow punches so far above its weight class. It's one of those games that just is so sprawling in its scope of things that you can do within it. But at the same time, it's also one of those things that's so sprawling you kind of need a guide in order to find out what you're missing, because there are some sections of the game, if you don't go diving into menus, you just won't find out what you can do.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I hope they do a better job at explaining some of these things in this new game. And also, Square Enix, just in case you haven't thought about it, Star Ocean 3 R is also a tempting proposition. I really like Star Ocean 3 up until the end. Until the end of time R. Oh, I don't know if they can. Oh boy, if they can fix that ending. If they can fix that ending, I'll love Star Ocean 3 forever. But
you will love Square Enix until the end of time.
Okay, yeah, maybe not that much.
All right. And with that wraps up our industry news. But that does leave us with quite a few super chats and things that we should probably go over before the end of the show here. Yeah. So let me pull up this crazy list here, guys. Y'all been at work here. Okay. First question, or first comment here comes from Bring Back Fluffy Dogs, who says, "Guys, are you tired of uncomfortable man clothes?" I mean,
I saw that.
I? Well, I'm here to tell you that you don't have to be. I just received my limited edition HitPoint t-shirt, and let me tell you something. Now you, too, can be comfy. But buy yours today while they last.
Did you just do a super chat just so you can advertise the shirt?
I think they did.
I mean, thank you, but
which you can it's so good that people will pay to advertise it for us. Go pick it up from shop.superdarkrpgs.com and pick up a HitPoint tee while you're there.
They're actually good. I know. Actually, I wear it all the time.
I know. It's so
they're comfy. They're comfy as heck.
Isn't it? It's one of the things that I'm so excited about is working with Switch Wicked, which is they're the couple that are local to the area that I just happened to meet, because Amy used to be co-workers with them a long time ago, back in college age, and they have this business now, and they're like, "Hey, we want to work with you," and I was like, "Hey, I'd like to hang out with you." And we just got together and oh my God, the stuff you make is actually really good. Yeah. So man, I'm just so excited about that. But
shout out to Switch Wicked.
Yeah. Check them out, guys, if you haven't already. All right. So the next one we have here comes from also Bring Back Fluffy Dogs, who says,
Hey,
I require the advice of Dedeku. He says, or they say, I recently cataloged my collection and found something I didn't know that I had. Power Blade 2 on the NES. I don't want it, but I never dealt with items of this value before. Any advice would be helpful.
Power Blade 2?
Power Blade 2.
Power Blade 2?
Is the...
We're doing the same thing right now.
that game. Oh my God.
Yes. Wow.
Okay. I remember seeing the cover on this game because it's just so crazy. And it's like if I recall correctly, this is like a Strider-like game that's really cool. So my advice when it comes to things of value is buy high, sell never. But I don't know, man. With things of that value, it's tough to, because like if you don't want it and you don't need it and you just want to get rid of it, the thing about like selling it on eBay is that seller protections are pretty weak. Buyer protections are really strong, which is really means that it's a great place to buy things. It can be a really uncomfortable place to sell things. So I probably would not go through eBay. You know, what might work better would be to, gosh, and it's something that's like $1,000. So like even just like selling it locally in person could be sketchy unless you do it in like a really nice open public space with cameras and stuff, like in the parking lot of a police station or something. And you know, that even then becomes a little bit sketchy if you're doing with cash, because some people might have counterfeit bills and it's not like you have got the pen, right? So you know, maybe something that has some other protections in place, like, I don't know, Venmo or PayPal or something, or one of those digital and for anybody who's like outside of the United States, who's like, why don't you just transfer money between banks? In the States, we don't do that. We actually have to use third parties to do that for the most part, which is ridiculous. But yeah, it's tricky. And depending on how quickly you want to move something, you might just be better off selling it to a local mom and pop shop and letting them, you know, figure out the you know, the process of buying and selling. And you know, I don't know. I don't even have a local mom and pop shop in my hometown anymore either, which is weird to think about. So it's tricky though. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't know how to advise you on selling stuff. I'm also a buy high, sell never person. So, you know, they're always for my personal collection. So I don't know what it means to sell these things.
Yeah, just ride it to the moon, and when you get there, you live on the moon.
Yeah, I have so accidental like extra copies on eBay, and they've been pretty no fuss for me, but your mileage may vary.
All right, next up, Fluffy Dogs also had this one that says, speaking of advice, I listened to your wisdom from the last week and went ahead and picked up Lunar Silver Star Story Complete big box set.
What?
It says, I listened to the whole soundtrack and can already tell I like the game. Thank you. Searching for Lunar 2 now. Oh, such a good game.
But if anyone in chat is selling, I mean, we got ourselves a buyer right here. We'll take no percentage of making this sale happen.
Yeah, no finder's fees.
No finder's fee, yeah.
Okay, so P-Tort drops us a question here, or a chat that says, I finally caught you guys live and had to show some love. Thanks for all the good listening over the last year and a half. Any plans to play Final Fantasy XVI?
Do you want to take this one first, or?
Yes.
Okay.
I do have plans on playing it. That's about as far as those plans go. Is I plan to play it, not at launch, because I've just got a lot on my plate. I don't know if I'm going to catch up to Reverie in time for its release, because I'm still playing 3. My gosh, Cold Steel 3 is. I just started chapter. I'm in the middle of chapter 3. I think. Anyways, things are getting wild. I have a feeling I'm gonna not stop playing for a while. But yeah, Final Fantasy 16 is one of those games that I is on my immediately I want to check this out games. But man, it's so hard. There's so many. I know it's a brand new Final Fantasy. This only comes out like once every 10 years. And
Yes.
how do I not play this at launch?
Yes. I know.
It kills me. I
I
still haven't played Final Fantasy 15, but this one looks good though.
This one looks good. This one actually looks good. I've said that I wasn't that excited. But then once I see the demo, I'm like, my tune changed once I saw the demo.
And
I'm
once I
like,
hear
okay.
Once I hear everybody who played the demo be like, "Oh my god, this is incredible." I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and not just anybody too. Like some of these
People
like,
whose opinions I respect.
Yes. Let's just say that. That changes my mind a bit. Personally, I'm also with Derek. I've got a lot on my plate as well. I'm still in the middle of going through Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which has been an absolutely amazing story. Man, I have not seen this level of writing in so long. And it's just, I just wish that it wasn't stuck in the Switch. It's such a gorgeous game, and sometimes when the frame drops to like 19 frames a second, I'm just like, I can feel that frame drop. Oh my god! Oh my god!
There is a 4-syllable word that I could direct you to that would allow you to free that game, liberate it from its confines on the Switch.
Oh no.
But we're not going to do that here. We're not going to talk about that. But there is a legal method of doing such things.
I'll talk about it later.
And Linus has documented the process of doing such a thing for legally, but
legally, yeah. Absolutely. And then after that, I owe my mod to play Persona 5 Royal. I saw Mr. Invalid in here just now. This man. So it's gonna be after Persona 5 Royal, so like August.
Man. All right.
Yeah, but we'll get there.
We will someday.
Yeah.
Somewhere, somehow. Bring Back Fluffy Dogs also says I will have Breath of Fire 1 through 4 physically. Just ordered 2 to be delivered this week and snagged the manual and case for number 4. Because I'm rebuilding my collection, do you recommend that I get 5 or ignore its existence?
5?
Yeah, Breath of Fire 5. It's
is that real? Is that a real game? It's
I think he's talking about Dragon Quarter.
Yeah,
which
is that really Breath of Fire?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of a cop-out way to say that it is not a bad game. It just it will not scratch that itch if you're like, oh man, I loved Breath of Fire 1 through 4, therefore I will play Breath of Fire 5 and be satisfied. It is not one of those kinds of games. And I don't know if honest, like it's a vibe of its own. It is weird. It is like a little claustrophobic. It's a little bit kind of like a roguelike. It's all right in its own way if you know what you're looking for, if you know what you're getting into. But if you're wanting a Breath of Fire experience and a set of games that deliver a Breath of Fire experience where you like transform into dragons and just destroy things, and enjoy the feeling of being overpowered, and a little bit of like a heavy story at times, like it's not quite the same as like Breath of Fire 3 or Breath of Fire 4 was. Breath of Fire 5 is kind of somber. It's got a lot of like earthen tones. It's kind of gray. It's a little bit dull. It's really bleak. It's a kind of a downer of a game. But it's not a bad game. It's just, I don't know. I'd
say do it.
Yeah.
I'd say do it.
I mean,
you want
honestly,
to aim for a collection? Do it.
Yeah. And here, let me check something.
You like eBay it right now?
Yeah. Dragon Quarter. Yeah. I mean, if I type that in, PS2, you can get a complete in box price game for like $30. Like,
oh, that's not bad.
I mean, because it's because nobody, I'm just gonna say it's because nobody wants it, but it's not that collectible. But if you're going for a complete set, you may as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought my copy on Amazon like a while ago, sealed for 20, like brand new. And that's how I played it when I reviewed it. I opened it up to make the review. Yeah, they're not like that uncommon.
Now find me Saga.
Xenosaga is easy.
The trilogy.
Xenosaga 3 is the hard one. That's the one I still need.
I want the full trilogy for less than $100. I can want things.
Yeah, you can want
gonna get
it.
it.
That's for sure. It ain't gonna happen, but you can want it.
Happen.
Rob Lee dropped us a chat that says Derek looking fit AF.
No, right?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's just the lighting. It's nothing.
It's everything. It's everything.
I very
Total
much
package.
appreciate that though. Fluppy Dogs also says, my hope is that the delay for Chained Echoes will allow all the updates and patches to be on the cartridge and not require an update.
Oh my God, yes. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, let's hope that's what the whole delay was for. Just, yeah. And then they mentioned cataloging their collection recently. They say, I use Gameye. Is there a better option that either of you prefer? I actually prefer Gameye personally also. That's the one that I used because I have a lot of games that have boxes, and it has the built-in QR code, or not QR code scanner, but the barcode scanner that you can actually just scan the barcodes on the back of your cases. And for cartridges, it also will scan the cartridge and like detect it with like Google Lens or something, and like add it to your collection as well based on its machine learning stuff. I'm pretty sure it's just using Google Lens to figure out what your cartridges are. But that's what I use to catalog my games, and I still haven't finished cataloging them all. I should do that at some point, but that's what I recommend to people when they tell me about it, because I think it's like magic. But also there's some UI stuff I think that makes it a little bit wonky here and there, like when I'm trying to scan stuff, like it doesn't recognize some things properly sometimes, but that's just nitpicks. Consod says, hi guys, trying to go on a media blackout is very difficult with social media. In any case, have you ever taken a day off from work for a game release?
I personally have not. Taken a day off just for a game release. Yeah. I mean, if I take a day off and I happen to be playing a game, sure. But yeah, no, I rarely take off from work, actually.
Me too. And because I barely ever take off work, I actually maxed out on my PTO, which is why I took a week off 2 weeks ago, and I think I might have talked about it here. I took off a couple weeks to play Cold Steel 3. Ended up diverting a lot of my attention to a whole bunch of other things, administrative tasks for Super Derek, the business, and just building a computer that then I have to rebuild 4 more times. But I have another week at the beginning of July that I'm just, it's not quite the same as taking off a day for a release. It's taking off a week so I can catch up in time for a release, but it's pretty close, I think. But yeah, I've also been kind of taking a little bit of a social media blackout also, and it's kind of nice. I've been, since we haven't really talked about it, but the whole like Reddit blackout has been kind of going on for a few days for some subreddits, and it's over for many. But I kind of took that as an opportunity to like realize that, like, man, I just don't like being like on Reddit. Like, people on Reddit just make me so angry sometimes. And it's like, I just feel so much less like angry at everything when I'm not on Reddit, not on Twitter. Like I've removed the apps and I'm not on Facebook. Yeah, it's been kind of nice to just not be mad at stuff for a while. Highly recommend.
That's true.
10 out of 10.
That's true. That's true.
All right. Fluffy Dogs just gave us another one here. Says,
Hello.
okay, I ordered the mint after wearing the ice blue yesterday. Did I miss the limited run on the hoodie? Also, random question, did either of you play or were you interested in Golf Story? RIP B-side.
Golf Story. That sounds familiar. Golf Story
is an RPG.
Yes.
It's kind of like a spiritual successor to Mario Golf RPG by Camelot, I think. Yeah, I never did, but I heard good things about it.
Story.
Yeah, Golf Story.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Pretty wild, right?
Yeah, to think that you can make an RPG out of golfing.
You can make an RPG out of anything. I mean, there's the racing game RPGs. There's Maneater, the Shark PG. You know, there's so many RPGs. You know, it's pretty crazy actually.
Yeah.
So Fluffy Dogs, to answer your question though, yeah, the limited edition hoodie is sold out. We might do another reprint when it becomes hoodie weather at some point down the road, or we might just try a different design. We're not sure, but I think they were all printed to orders, so people got in on the pre-order. We made them, and then they're gone. I think the T-shirt, we had a T-shirt too, but that I don't know if I think it's sold through as well, but I'm not sure. I'll have to ask Switch Wicked about that actually, but I'm pretty sure that the T-shirt also did. Anyways, yeah, so I never did play Golf Story. I've heard good things. And I guess neither did you, Baku, huh?
No, I have not had a chance to play that. Maybe just because I don't really have an interest in golf per se, but a golf RPG sounds interesting. That's for sure. So, yeah, maybe one day.
Okay, next up, Flipping Dogs also says, I'm taking bets on P3 Reload Royal Edition releasing about a year after Reload.
Oh my god.
Please place your bets at your leisure. Double dip time for me. I'm not taking that bet. I'm not. Okay, here I will take a bet. In a way, I will bet that they don't call it Royal.
That's fair. Yes, they might not call it Royal, but in the spirit of that, I there's a high chance that they might do like
they're totally gonna do some sort of, if they don't do DLC, and Atlas hasn't been doing DLC, they've been doing I don't know what I want more. Do you want more re-releases that have like expansions built in, or do you want expansions sold as DLC?
I would take expansions sold as DLC.
I think
if it's substantial.
I think I would too. You know, it's I like the idea of expansion packs and not rebuying the games at full price. But yeah, that's sometimes, I mean, Atlas does stuff though, like with P5, when they did P5 Royal, they definitely added a whole lot more to it. Just like the way with Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest 11, when they made Dragon Quest 11 S. Echoes of an Elusive Age, the definitive edition, whatever they called it. I think that was it. When they did that, it was way more than just a expansion to what was already there. So I get it, but I wish they wouldn't. I wish that they did just give you an upgrade path. Yeah, but oh well. Yeah, so that's my bet, is that it's not going to be called Royal, but otherwise I wouldn't bet against Atlas doing something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of fishing, says Fluppy Dogs, Breath of Fire 1 through 4 HD collection when? Thank you for the great show.
Ooh, you know? Okay, so recently there is a survey again from Capcom. Again? Another one. And this time it's so that you can enter it to win something. I forgot what you would win. I have no plans on winning anything from these kind of
Sure.
raffles or something.
Yeah.
But I did take the opportunity to write to them to just kind of like tell them like, hey, I'm a fan of your games. They're like, okay, what console do you play on? What game series are you interested in? This time they didn't include Breath of Fire, which was a shame. But what you can do is click on other and then type in Breath of Fire, which is what I did.
Okay. Good. Did you tell them about fluffy dogs?
I should have. Maybe I'll use a different account and then I will tell them about fluffy dogs.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Man. Okay. So, Still Alive says, do you think the leak is true? And we really are getting Final Fantasy IX and Tactics remakes? Or are we really getting those? Both top tier games for me.
Yeah. So, do I think it's real? Yes. But it's like I said, they could easily change their mind
Oh, yeah.
and not announce it. So now so they're referring to the Nvidia leak from some time ago, and all the games from
Mhm.
that leak came true.
Yep.
Some things that's more outlandish, like it's not outlandish talking about it now because we got confirmation, but at the time of the leak, Kingdom Hearts 4 is a stretch to be
Mhm.
like, oh, that's coming. It's like, yeah, okay, buddy. Kingdom Hearts 4 is not coming for a while. And then wouldn't you know it, next month, they're like, Kingdom Hearts 4 announced. We're working on it. We're like,
Yeah.
okay, now that made it. Or like
Chrono Cross
Tactics
was on
Ogre
there.
Reborn.
Oh, yeah.
Like they called it by the name.
Yeah.
They could have just said Tactics Ogre Remaster or something. No, they called it by the name, Tactics Ogre Reborn. And
Yeah.
wouldn't you know it, Tactics Ogre Reborn was the thing. So that list is very much confirmed.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that doesn't change the fact that Square Enix could have changed their mind.
Or it could have been really early in development and it could have been scrapped.
Yeah.
They could have been working on a tech demo that had that name. It's entirely possible that, I mean, the list was real for sure.
Yeah.
And as far as like the Star Ocean, like I think that might have been what you were asking about, is if we think that is real. I mean, the image, the logo, yeah, I think that's real.
Yeah.
Now, is it actually like an indication that the game is coming? That is not necessarily. Yeah, that's a whole other kettle of
Still
fish.
up in the air.
Yeah, but I would like
Still
to think
up.
that it is. I would like to think
Yes.
so.
I would like to think so as well.
But we must hype responsibly.
Always.
Always. So yeah, and it's entirely possible that Final Fantasy IX and Tactics remakes are still in the works. Yeah, we just have to hope. But I think that Final Fantasy IX remake, I think, was the because they also called Chrono Cross a remake in that leak, but it wasn't actually a remake.
It was a remaster.
It was just a remaster that was ported to Switch. I mean, there could be something like that for Final Fantasy IX as well, and not just, and it might not be a full remake.
That's true.
So did that happen? Did that leak happen before or after Final Fantasy IX came to Switch? Do you know? My memory is really hazy on this.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, so it's really hard to say, but yeah, just I would, if I could figure that out, I would just tell you to hype responsibly and hope for the best, but don't expect anything more than that.
Yeah.
Next up, Fluffy Dogs again says, I would rather have more games ported and released in general with only subtitles than have less waiting for voiceovers. Sometimes games are way better without voice acting. Cue the Titus laugh. Yep.
Oh boy.
Okay, that Titus laugh gets so much flack, but it was supposed to be that way. It's okay. It's not. Final Fantasy X had great voice acting. Can I say that? May I say that? Is it too late to say it actually was really good? And yes, that scene is awkward because it's supposed to be awkward.
Yes.
But yeah, sometimes games could be better without voice acting. For instance, if you want a real example of some really bad, check out my review of Arc Rise Fantasia. There is a whole lot going on with the story behind that localization, and man, it was like people who didn't even speak English natively were in charge of dubbing that game.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that was an interesting experience to say the least. So check that out if you get a chance. It's definitely one of those so bad it's good kind of like voiceover efforts. And you know, I'm not going to say that it's the fault of the voice actors involved. It was definitely some bad business decisions. And man, and otherwise it was a pretty fun game. Honestly, some aspects of it were pretty fun, but yeah, that if you could find an undub online, I would probably maybe look into going for that.
Just remove all the voice acting.
just play it on mute.
Play it on mute, yes.
And then finally, Fluffy Dogs says, yes, I paid to advertise how awesome the shirts are, and now to state that I did so.
Oh boy.
Just tripling down on that. I
tripling down on it. They are really nice shirts. They really, really are nice shirts.
I know. It's kind of ridiculous.
People not believing me. They're just like, you're just saying that, you know. It's like, no, they're really nice shirts.
Yeah.
Try it.
Hey, trying. What is it? Seeing is believing. You never know until you get one. Shop.superdarkrpgs.com.
Just pull a Linus. You know?
Yep. I was gonna say I should just have a bot in here that like every time I say it just hears it and then automatically throws a link in the chat. That would be so good if there was some way I could do that. All right. But that does bring us to the end of our list of super chats, and what a list that was. Thank you all so much for your support today. I very much appreciate it. If you enjoyed today's show, please be sure to drop it a like or get subscribed so you see the next time we go live. Otherwise, you can if you're enjoying this on one of the other podcasting platforms out there like iTunes or Spotify, leave us a review or something. Super helpful. All right, guys, I hope you all have a good rest of your night. Baku, any final thoughts for the people before the impromptu dance party?
Boy, yeah, excited about the impromptu dance party for sure. But also, yeah, no HitPoint next weekend. Told you guys already. But until the next one, which should be July 1st, please stay safe out there.
All right. Stay safe, everybody. Have a great night.